everyone, Enigmatic Artist is back with another video after a long, very long break. But I just had some stuff that I really wanted to tell you guys, and just so you can go along this journey with me of financial literacy and passive income. So I have been reading this awesome book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I've only made it through like a quarter or maybe more like a third of the book, and already I've been taught so much wisdom about like personal finances and basically how to help my money to grow. So basically with this book, it was like he had a rich dad and he had a poor dad, and his poor dad was like, yes, go to school so you make money, you get a good job, blah 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 blah. The rich dad was like, yo, rich people, they just be letting money work for them. They don't be working for money. So basically with all of that, it's like rich people, they invest into like assets that can give them income, and they don't like just rack up all these like liabilities and expenses like the poor middle class people do. So basically with your assets, that could be stocks, you could be investing in I'm not sure what else is out there. I've only come across like investing in stocks, or even like maybe tax-free savings accounts. Not sure, but for sure he mentioned stocks in the book. So basically with tax-free savings account, like you can use that to buy stocks. But anyway, that's later on in the video. But yeah, he was like mentioning how the poor middle class, they have a lot of liabilities. So basically a house is even a liability when most people would think that it's an asset. But if it's something that takes money out of your pocket, it's a liability, it's not an asset. So a house, you get a house, you have all these like maintenance fees, you have utility fees, you have all these sorts of fees, you have like a mortgage that some people would be paying on their house. So it's not an asset, it's actually a liability. And yeah, he was just talking about like the cash flow like of a rich person and a poor person, where a rich person, they would have a lot of assets that can even help pay those liabilities, help pay for expenses, and then you're not working so much. Like you could even, if you have enough like assets that give you income, you could even quit your job. You don't need an income. And basically your job, your income, you're working for your employer, you're helping that employer. You're not really working for yourself. Like you legit working your butt off to get a salary, but in a sense you're working for that employer, right? They're just giving you compensation for your work. And then your expenses, you're basically working for the government, because that's your taxes. They taxing you on how much money you make. They taxing you on sales and value added tax, all sorts of stuff. And liabilities, you're basically working for the bank. That's your like mortgages and stuff. You're really just giving money to the bank. Obviously you're getting something else in return, but the payoff is not as good as your assets. So if you have a bunch of assets that can bring income, whether it's like you're even owning your own business, like that's kind of, you mentioned, is like the best way to go about it if you're interested in seeing your money grow. And all these financial literacy like tidbits that he usually has in this book, I don't think a lot of people know about it, because what I learned in school is like you go get good grades, you work, get a good job, and you work for the rest of your life. But what if there was another way? What if there was another way to not be so stressful about the job that you're working at, or like so stressed with like finding a really good job so I can have more money? Well, in a sense, if you have more money, a lot of times the two emotions where it's like fear and greed, he mentioned greed, like if you get more money, a lot of times people just spend more. But if you don't let these emotions like kind of tailor the way you spend your money, or like the decisions that you make, your intelligence goes up. So if you realize that money is really just fleeting, money is an illusion, money is really just a form of value and a form of currency, my bad, where you, for example, you work for something, your value is the skills that you bring to the job, and then you get money in return as a form of currency for the work that you've done. So if you really realize that money is really just, it's quite fleeting, it comes, it goes, and you kind of understand a bit more, a more like practical or like more ways to make money like long term, where you're not stressed out, oh, I can't get fired, oh, I can't quit my job, like I need to pay my bills and this and that, like I'm fearful right now. Like that's the fear emotion, and if you're so controlled by that, then a lot of times you can't see the bigger picture of the whole situation. Because in school they don't teach you what they teach you in this book. They don't teach you. They just feed it into this whole concept that you go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and then you just work for the rest of life. And a lot of times people working on these jobs that they don't even like. So anyway, I'm done with my rant. Take it how you want it, but that's how I've been seeing and kind of receiving this information from this book. So that's why I went to talk to my financial advisor today, and she basically gave me some more advice on ways to invest money. So basically, a lot of people, they would open like a tax-free savings account, or they would open a retirement savings plan. They call it an RRSP. But a lot of times people would invest or put money, sorry, not really investing in it, but they're putting money in their RRSP to save for retirement. So a lot of times people would put the money in this RRSP because it is tax free. So the money that you put from your income into this RRSP, you don't pay taxes on it. You would get that deducted. So you wouldn't pay as much taxes on that, which would be good if you have a big income and you're putting money in here, you're paying less taxes on your income. And then when you're retired, you have a smaller income, so the money that you take out of your RRSP, you won't pay as much taxes on it because your income is low and you would get that deducted. And then with a tax-free savings account, which is the better option for me at this point, because I just graduated, so I do have contributions from paying tuition. So basically there is really no gain for me to open up an RRSP. But a tax-free savings account with the bank that I called today, they gave me, well, they didn't give me, it's a promotion that they have going on where you actually get 1% interest on the money that you have in your account, which is really, really good, because a lot of banks, they only have like 5%, no, not even 5%, 0.05% interest that they give you in your money, which is nothing. Like, that's like a couple cents on the dollar. Like, we don't want that. Like, if there are better options out there, should choose it. So that's what I'm gonna do. That promotion ends on July 30th, so that's why I'm going with the bank that I called, because there's another bank that has a promotion going on where you get 1% interest on new money transferred into that account. But that promotion ends on June 30th, so I would like the other option with the extra month of getting 1% back. And with a tax-free savings account, like, you can take the money out whenever you want, so it's really like within 24 hours you would get it back. And there's another option, like kind of under the tax-free savings account, which is, it could be a cash account or it could be a mutual fund. What I was just talking about was the cash account, and the mutual fund is basically where you pay experts to invest your money for you, and obviously for a fee. Everything's for a fee. And then they kind of use your portfolio. In your portfolio is basically how risky of an investor you are. If you're just a passive, low risk investor, they would kind of invest your money according to that. Or if you're a high risk, like, just like, yeah, I just want to see a big buyout, like I want to see big gains. So they would kind of invest your money according to that, according to your portfolio and what you want for your money. And yeah, so basically with mutual funds as well, like you want to have your monies there for a long period of time. So if you're looking at maybe 10 years, like that's a good, or even like roughly around that time, like that's a good like between 5 and 10 years or even more is usually the better option for if you're looking at mutual funds, because obviously it's a stock market. Stock market goes up and down. If you're trying to take money out of your mutual fund, then it's very it can be kind of not risky, but really if there was a time where you needed your funds like within the next 2 years or something and the stock market is down, then you're going to have a big loss. So really you should be putting money in your mutual account that you won't need for a very long time, because you see better growth and gains over the long term when you keep your money in mutual funds, or when you buy stocks and keep that stock for a very long time. So yeah, that's what the gist of mutual funds are. Like you're paying experts to like buy stocks and bonds, and you're getting whatever returns back they get from that and paying them for their services. And the other option was like it's under the tax-free savings account and under the RRSP. So basically you could have a cash account where you're just like getting interest. You could have a mutual fund under these accounts where you're with the experts, and you also have your GICs, which is your government investment certificates, and these are like you can get them for like a year. So you basically lock in your money. You basically lock in your money for this time, and you can't take it out. It's locked in for whatever amount of time you lock it in for. But with the GICs, like you know how much returns you're going to be getting. You know how much money back you're going to be getting from the money that you put into the account. Like you have more like confidence, and you're not like worried about if the stock market crashes, I'm not going to get my money, or your principal stays the same. And yeah, that's what your GIC is, but you can't take your money out as freely as with a mutual fund or a cash account under the tax-free savings account or RRSP. So that's that. And I want to talk to you guys about inflation. So basically, inflation is when your money loses value by you just having it sit there not doing anything. So every year, the inflation percent is like 2.5%, and that's the amount of like the percentage that your money is losing its value with you not doing anything with it. Because every year, the prices of everything it actually goes up. So that's why, like, if you go back to the store, like maybe a year from now, like you would see crackers that used to be costing maybe $1.50 costing like $1.60 now or something, like just giving an example. But yeah, like when you have your money in a tax-free savings account, or when you're investing it, you're legit putting your money in a system or in an account where it doesn't lose its value. Like it's actually making money for you. And that's what the Rich Dad Poor Dad book was talking about, because the rich people, they don't work for money. They let money work for them. So you invest in your money in like a stock or whatever, your money is legit making money for you, and you ain't gotta do no work. You just put it out there, you know? So that's why I've been looking at different options. So yeah, I do need to think a bit more about the mutual fund thing, because I don't know, like, is it worth it? If y'all know, let me know. Like, do you guys have any mutual funds? Do you guys have a tax-free savings account? And these are all for Canadian banks as well. Like, I'm not sure how they would be in the Bahamas, but those ones are really popular, and I thought that I should talk to you guys about it. So yeah, if you have the time, talk to your financial advisor, see what options are out there for you. And yeah, I hope you guys stay safe and that you enjoyed this video, and we'll come back for more. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.